No matter the weather, Alexandria Emergency Hospital is always here for you. Rain or shine, our doors are open 24/7 to provide the care you and your loved ones need fast. Every second counts, and Alexandria Emergency Hospital is here to help you through any storm.
In the event of a water damage emergency, call PuroClean of Cenla.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I have lots to talk about with regards to snow chances. I know we have 542 people in here on a Sunday evening. I cut the countdown a little short. Wanted to get my little pre-rolls in there because that's kind of cute. And you know what? It doesn't take up any time since we're cutting down anyway on the countdown clock. But the first thing I wanted to show you was that it's chilly. It's 38 degrees. And you see this up here, the dew point. That's 13. So we have incredibly dry air in place. Now that is what is going to be a snow eater. What we're going to see eventually in northern parishes, I think, is we're going to see radar returns on the radar, but we're not going to see those reaching the ground. It's going to take a while to saturate things. And that process is going to eat up a lot of the snow to the north. I still think we see a lot of snow, especially in the southern half of the area. The trends have kind of stabilized today. I still have some high resolution models that are really digging in and putting this right across the heart of central Louisiana, but for now I'm leaning to the south if you want the short version. But let's go ahead and take a look and see what we have on radar. We now have winter storm warnings. Those warnings are in effect for the southern half of the state. I could see them going with advisories for the northern half of the area once this all gets settled and ready to go, but a winter storm warning for 4 to 6 inches of snow along the I-10 corridor from the National Weather Service. I kind of cheat and I went 3 to 7. I like to expand it out further because a lot of times you're going to see those totals in a pretty wide range. When we get the mesoscale or smaller scale kind of bands setting up, we can get heavier totals than that. So snow's tough to forecast, and I think I talked about, I'm trying to think of things I've actually typed out and things that I've typed out and deleted, but if we have, a rain system coming in that's a quarter inch, 10 inches, or a quarter inch to an inch of rain, no big deal. That would equate to like 2 to 10 inches of snow, which is a huge deal. And then if you don't get any rain out of that, well, it's not that big of a deal. If you don't get any snow, it's a huge deal. So I'm going crazy. Let's go ahead and take a look at the GFS model. We're going to go on the tour of 3 models right now, and these will tell you the story that I'm seeing in a certain way here. I'm looking at tons more, but you can see those radar echoes coming across by midnight to 3 a.m. on Monday. We'll start to see that light snow breaking out. Obviously, the GFS keeping the southern half of the area under the gun with the snow with those darker blues down that way. Baton Rouge to Lake Charles, again, 3 to 7 inches of snow. It wouldn't be a stunner to see someone get 10 inches of snow down that way, which is just crazy stuff. And then it all exits by about 5 p.m. Could be snowing in Venice and Grand Isle at that point, just totally normal run-of-the-mill stuff. And then across Florida, they're going to get some snow, Georgia, all these areas that are way far south. Who would think Alexandria could end up just a bit too far north? But that's what we're seeing. Now, on this model, I don't want you to pay attention to the precipitation type. It gets weird on these high resolution things. So I'm going to take you through this, but it's going to be either, there could be just a little bit of sleet here, but I really don't understand why this algorithm is showing rain when it's below freezing, but it's weird. So we're not going to even worry about that. But again, by 11 p.m. to midnight, that's when we start to see things rolling in. On this model, you can see it's kind of showery. It's kind of, we're just seeing little dots on the radar there showing up on the simulated radar. And then as things kind of solidify, that's where we're again seeing that heaviest stuff in the southern half of the area. So that's kind of our trend here. Now this one, it actually cuts off at noon, so don't pay attention to that time bar right there. But by noon, which is when this one ends, and let me pull this back because I don't want to confuse you, because that is bad practice right there. But as I take this to noon, which is when this run ends, and you'll see how everything stops there, that's what the radar looks like. Again, this is not going to be rain, so let's not even think about that. But this is going to be snow down across here. This shows actual flurries up into Natchitoches and Winfield and all that. I've really bumped totals down to the north because dry air, again, dew points in the low teens right now. They're going to be in the single digits when this all starts up. So it's going to take a little while to saturate things with that kind of dry air in place. I'll go back over to the system now, and I got this one ready to go. And we'll get to the actual forecast accumulations here in just a second. But Futurecast, this is the Barron model, again showing some weird precipitation type issues, moving in close to that midnight time frame, and then everything just kind of slides in from the southwest. It looks like from about 9 a.m. until noon is probably our best chance to see steady snow around here in Alexandria, Leesville, Faraday, those areas. Down south, it's going to be a much longer residence time on this. That snow is going to stick around, and then it hightails it out of here. And we get some big accumulations accumulations. Now, I continued that very slow trend of nudging south. Now, I do want to say that I don't foresee this going much further south. I don't think it's going to. Can it move back north? Yeah, if the dry air is not quite as strong, if the low pressure moves a little further north, we get more moisture to flow in. Yes, it could come back north, but for now, I'm going with a pretty wide range because across like Rapides Parish here, we could easily go from an inch up around Boyce and Lena down to 5 inches in Union Hill and Glenmora. So it's going to be a pretty strong gradient or change in the accumulation from north to south. And we're going to go from like a dusting up here, perhaps Pollock, Georgetown, that area, to maybe 6 or 7 inches in Oakdale. I mean, that's how short of a distance it's going to be. And that's why I've made the joke a million times. That's why I'd be pulling my hair out if I had it, because this system is going to go from nothing to a historic snow over about a 50-mile stretch here. So again, 3 to 7 plus. If you're a snow chaser and you really have to see this snow, go to Opelousas, Lafayette, Lake Charles, Oberlin, Oakdale, go down DeRidder. You're going to see a decent snow out of this. New Roads, Southern Avoyelles Parish even. So again, it's not going to take long to get to it if the roads are okay, of course, but that's kind of what I'm seeing right now. Low amounts up to the north. Would not be surprised if we see parts of the area and not even see flakes. In Wynn Parish, northern Natchitoches, northern Sabine, that's entirely on the table with this kind of setup with that hard edge on that dry air. Down to the south, that's where things are going to really come together, which is usually flip-flopped and we go the other way. But that's what we're looking at right now. Here's a quick look at the 7-day, and then I'll go back to that map for you just a second from now. This is updated from Tom just recently. 32 degrees with snow likely across most of the area. Again, I think most of us see flakes. It's possible that northern fringe does not. But it looks like a pretty good bet that we at least see flakes across most of the area. And that heavy, snow band is going to be across the southern half. So while, up here, in Winfield and Natchitoches, you're like, okay, this is going from probably pretty significant to nothing. Totally understand that. But down to the south, we are still going to see this event. It's all just shoved about 50 to 70 miles south. Again, it could shift a little bit further back, but I have to take what I'm given with these models. And that's what I'm seeing in all the trends right now. One other note, though, toward the end of this Sunday, 68 degrees. Could be some showers, maybe a few thunderstorms. So yes, it will warm up at some point. But here's that accumulation map. I just wanted to give you a little evening briefing to go along with that parish by parish forecast. Snow amounts, if you see 1 to 5, remember 1 is possible. 5 is also possible, but people tend to focus on that higher end. Again, I think someone is going to see over 8 inches down along the I-10-190 corridor. So Opelousas, Baton Rouge, if you're down anywhere along I-10, Lake Charles, Lafayette, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, no travel on Tuesday. It's going to be, imagine it being well below freezing with 6, 8 inches of snow in these areas that just have no snow removal equipment. That's the thing. We can't move it. We can't remove it around here. So let's see. Should we expect power outages? No power outages because, first off, now I don't think it's going to be crazy heavy. No, if we, some of these places where they see the really heavy totals, it's possible some pine limbs fall on some power lines and knock it out for a little while. But with no ice really in the forecast, and with this snow actually, oddly, not being a heavy wet snow, we get a fluffy kind of snow. That's what that dry air will do. It's not going to be very heavy snow. So it's going to be heavy, but it's not going to be heavy in weight. This is going to be the kind of stuff that you can like sweep off with a broom. It's going to be so weird. But yeah. That's what I don't even know what that emoji means or whatever that is. I guess someone's passed out there. All right, let's see. What are you saying, Kristen? I want it as bad. Oh, yeah. Yeah, getting an accurate forecast is, trust me, there's a lot of stress for me right now, going a little crazy. I want, do you want me to zoom out? I'll zoom out on this. I will say that I can do that. It's going to make things weird here, but I'll show you. I do make these maps a little bigger. You can see how the wording's kind of anchored there, and you see how I stop there in the south because it's not in our area. But yeah, I think that 3 to 7 is going to go down into New Orleans, possibly all the way down into the Gulf. Right there along Holly Beach and stuff like that. So it's a crazy, out of the ordinary storm for sure. But yeah. That's it. All right. I'm going to get out of here, I think. Seems like everybody's being nice. Kristen, was somebody mean? if somebody's mean or if somebody gets off color with this stuff, just y'all handle it. No, I'm going to be a good boy. All right. You guys are awesome. I will see you back here bright and early in the morning. I'm going to go on KSYL at 8 o'clock. I don't know if I'll be there with Al or who's going to be there, but I'll be on with some of the friends over there at KSYL. We'll be talking about this. I'll be doing it from here, and then I'll go right into my live. So probably somewhere 8:30 to 9 tomorrow morning is when I'll do it. If I see anything worth updating this evening, I will. I'll probably post a little something before I go to bed, but I'm pretty kind of anchored in on this kind of forecast right here. I think we're looking good with this. Love you guys. Thanks for being cool. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning.